Welcome to How to Stay Healthy, where we interview doctors each week across the vast medical landscape of cardiology, neurology, orthopedics, sports medicine, and primary care. Join us here for your prescription to better health. Hello, South Florida and beyond, and welcome to the How to Stay Healthy show. Happy Friday, everyone. Busy time of the year, and that's why I wanted to have a nice discussion on cardiothoracic surgery tonight. We have an action-packed program for you. Before you get started, I just want to let you know a little bit about All County Healthcare, our sponsor for the show. They do great things, allcountyhealthcare.com, and they are a Medicare-certified agency and home healthcare company. If you have any questions, you can call Maddie Kaplan at 1-888-717-7170. Neat thing that they do with the show is it's on Facebook Live, so you can see all the past shows there. You're just going to go to the browser like I'm doing right now. Go to facebook.com, put in the browser All County Healthcare Incorporated, INC, right in there, and you'll be able to see the show at any time on the Facebook Live page. But without further ado, I want to introduce our guest tonight, Daniel Mock. He's a clinical cardiothoracic nurse practitioner at Tenet Florida Physician Services. And as you remember on this program, we had Dr. Neil Galindez on recently, the cardiothoracic surgeon with Tenet Florida Physician Services, and also his colleague there, also at Florida Medical Center, Dr. Eric Beyer, cardiothoracic surgeon. So Daniel Mock, our clinical cardiothoracic nurse practitioner in the studio this evening, works with both of those doctors. Daniel, welcome to the program. I'm so happy to have you.
Yes, I'm very happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me to your show. Like you said, my name is Daniel, and I work with one of the greatest thoracic surgeons in South Florida. One of them is Dr. Eric Beyer, and the other one is Dr. Neil Galindez.
Yeah, definitely. And thank you for coming on the program. And I love your name. It's my middle name, so I won't forget that, Daniel Mock. That is awesome. It's a great name as well. But yeah, so you do clinical cardiothoracic, and you're a nurse practitioner. It's something, a specialty that I didn't know much about when we first talked last week, and I was doing a little research. Tell us a little bit about it, because when I say your title, it's Daniel Mock, MSN, which is Master of Nursing, right?
Yes, Master of Science in Nursing, yes.
And then the AGACNP-BC. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, I could tell you that being a nurse practitioner is a privilege. And then what many people might know or might not know is that the advanced registered nurse practitioner can help in many ways. Then you have certain specialties that you go after you being a nurse practitioner. That's called a certification. You might be certified in many things. An advanced registered nurse practitioner, like we were talking earlier before the show actually started, could be split in many ways. You could be certified in adult care. You could be certified in acute care. You could be a certified nurse anesthetist, and you could also be a certified a midwife. So there's many ways to go. The route I chose to is because I do care deeply for our elderly population, even though we treat above 18 any patients, and then on the acute care, which also allow us to work in the hospitals and urgent care centers and facilities like that.
So I know Dr. Beyer and Dr. Galindez are at Florida Medical Center, and we've had a lot of doctors from that hospital on the program. Great heart hospital, as we know. We even had the CEO recently came on this program, sat in the chair you're at.
Great guy too.
Yeah, Trey Abshire. So, and we know it's a great heart hospital. So, as a clinical cardiothoracic nurse practitioner, you work in the doctor's offices, but are you also in surgery or after surgery care?
Yes. Let me explain you a little bit about what we do. It's a very straightforward process. What I like to is the continuity of care. We usually receive our patients through our cardiologists, and then once the patient come to see us at the office, then based on whatever the diagnosis he has, we select the path for the patient. And what I was saying earlier about continuity of care is that I could see them right there at the office. I also take care of them at the hospital. And then once they get discharged from the hospital, we do follow-ups with them. So it allows us for the patient not only to see a familiar face, somebody who actually cares for them, as well at the office, at the hospital, and then post-hospital care or post-operative care. That's how we call it as well.
Now, is this a new specialty? And the reason I ask is I was doing a little research. And I feel like it's something that's came to kind of fruition in the last few years, but I've had on this program an ARNP before, an NP, so that's ARNP, Advanced Registered Nurse Practitioner, am I right?
Yes, that's correct.
And I've had a nurse practitioner, and I've even had a doctor of nursing,
yes,
who actually sees patients in an office. So I've had those three, but I've never had a clinical cardiothoracic nurse practitioner on the program. I'm wondering if that is a new specialty the last few years. Has that evolved? Because I was looking at a little research, I think back to 2007, they were doing it at a certain hospital. And is that something new, or has this been a field that's been around?
This is actually, it's not actually, it's a route. Once you become an acute care nurse practitioner or a gerontology nurse practitioner, what you can do is you can choose your specialty and concentrate. So it's being more like towards the route. There's nurse practitioners that work in many specialties, such as cardiology, such as digestive, gastrointestinal system, such as nephrologies as well. So once you're in the acute care, you choose to specialize in cardiothoracic surgery, like me, for example. But I could work also with many other conditions or diseases.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
It goes across different medical specialties.
That is correct.
Oh, I see. So you obviously it's busy in cardiothoracic surgery at that hospital.
Yes.
So you're needed there, and you assist these doctors.
Yes, we work. I like to say we work in collaboration. I work we work as a team. Let's put it that way, because we do. Let's say the patient entered to our doors, and then I see the patient, I evaluate them and assess them. I do history and physicals on them. I get a plan, and then I treat them. And then at the end of the day, usually we sit down, either if it's a patient of Dr. Byers or Dr. Galindez, and then we discuss what is the best route to take on these patients. And then we, reevaluate the patient, and then, that's what, we do.
Now, one of the topics we talk a lot about on this program is atrial fibrillation, AFib. I'm wondering, is that one of the top reasons that people have to see the cardiothoracic surgeons, or what are kind of the top, ailments that come through your office? I mean, what are people seeing you for Dr. Galindez and Dr. Bayer?
Yes, most of the people that come to us is because they have a condition usually located within the cardio and the thorax. And I would say that the most common ones are problems with the valves, and also with problems with atrial fibrillation. Dr. Eric Bayer is a very, very good specialist in what he does. And then I'd like to say that, he does what we call a MACE procedure. At the hospital, usually when the patient comes with atrial fibrillation. And also he does a mitral valve replacement with a minimal invasive approach. And this is like, to me, it's like working magic through the patient, because through a minimal incision, it's like 5 centimeters incision to the right side of the chest, he goes and he changes sometimes and repairs the valves right there. I usually, back to your question, is that the most that we see is valve patients, and then also patients with coronary artery disease, which means it's an obstruction on the arteries of the heart, which are called the coronaries, and then they do what they call is coronary artery bypass grafting. Oh,
wow. Wow, that is awesome work that your team's doing as well. I just want to ask you a little bit. I had Dr. Bayer on. So he does that little minimally invasive incision, I think you said up to 5 centimeters. Is that right?
Yes.
And is that done under the ribs on the right side, and he's able to access the heart through there?
Yes.
Wow.
This is amazing, because it not only allows the patient to recuperate faster. It's like our goal is for the patient to leave the hospital within less than 5 days. and we are pretty good on because it's that you minimize the risk of the patient in many ways, and then based on this really small incision, the healing could speed up immensely. We have patients that have been discharged from the hospital 3rd or 4th days after surgery.
Unbelievable.
It's like the magic touch, I would call it that way.
Yeah, that's what you called it before. And so what's Dr. Byer like? Because I know Dr. Byer and Glenda's are a little different. What's he like?
Yes. I think we all have a different personalities. Nevertheless, I could say that I'm very proud to work for this, in collaboration with these two doctors. They are very good. They are very good characters. They are excellent personalities. They approach the patient in a very, very professional way and a very enthusiastic way as well. Because we treat them, they both, because I cannot speak them as separate, because they both treat them as family. I would love you, to come by the office one of these days and see how the process is and how the patient feels, the personalized touch, the family touch that we have with them, which is very important to me as well as a nurse practitioner, because we work holistically. We see the patient as a whole. And then not only the communication with my doctors is good and their personality is great, but also with the fellow workers like cardiologists that refers patient to us. We have like a multiple specialty team, which is very good.
And Dr. Byer, I know he can speak a little bit of Spanish too, right?
Yes. Dr. Byer speak like Spanish, German.
Oh, he speaks German
English.
too. That's right.
Yes, and then Dr. Galindez speak Spanish and English. And I myself, I speak Spanish and English as well.
Bilingual. That's great in the South Florida landscape. Tell us a little bit about where you're originally from, and then also how you got into being a nurse and nurse practitioner. Because, I mean, I know that's a lot of schooling as well. I mean, it's almost up there with being a doctor. You study a long time.
Yes.
A lot of education and training.
Yes, I'm originally from Cuba. I like to say that it was a long path because I was studying medical school back in Cuba. I finished my 3rd year, but I had to come to the United States. Then I started the whole process of being a nurse. Then I was working in the CVOR, Palmetto General Hospital, for like 5 years or so. And then I decided to continue my education and to become an advanced registered nurse practitioner, working with what I worked before, which was a CVOR, or cardiothoracic surgery, which is my passion, by the way. I believe, what's one of the best systems in the body is your circulatory system.
Oh, that's nice to know. I can tell you have a passion for it, and I know that's very important because this industry of patient care, heart care, has changed dramatically in the last few years. I mean, we were just talking, what used to be an open heart surgery is now done through a small incision through the ribs.
Yes.
There's a lot more technology nowadays. But with that, we have a huge baby boomer growing population, and there's a lot more need for heart care as well. I'm sure you're seeing the influx in numbers, right?
Yes. Now the numbers are elderly. Like I used to have a professor that used to say like the 80s are the new 60s because people are living longer. And this is because they are more, treated medically. That professionally approach is better to them. And they are following instructions on how to develop a healthier lives, which is great for them. It's not common, but before people used to die like very young ages, and everybody expects like you get to the 50s. Oh my God, you already do, and it's people are. I've seen patients from anywhere from 70 to 90, 93 who have done surgeries in patients 91 and 92 years old, which is very good, and they come out excellent.
We're going to let Daniel Mock, the clinical cardiothoracic nurse practitioner, catch his breath here, take a quick break. And on the other side, I'm going to ask him a few questions about physical and emotional challenges about being a nurse practitioner in this field. And as well, what is hobbies and passions in life outside of medicine on the How to Stay Healthy show. How to stay healthy. It's a question asked by many people and answered by few. On How to Stay Healthy with David DePino, I'm going to bring you the latest in health news by interviewing top doctors from South Florida and around the world. Tune in on Fridays at 5:30 p.m. right here on WWNN Radio 95.3 FM and 1470 AM the Health and Wealth Network, to hear the latest health treatments, and my curveball question of the hobbies and passions in life doctors pursue when not providing medicine.
All County Healthcare, Inc. is locally owned and operated, serving the Tri-County area, Palm Beach, Dade, and Broward counties for the last 25 years. The practice of medicine is changing dramatically. All County Healthcare, Inc. still does it the old-fashioned way, where our nurses and healthcare professionals come into your home to service your medical needs, providing you the fastest and best care possible. For more information, call 954-717-7027. And remember, Medicare Home Care is covered by Part A of Medicare with no out-of-pocket cost to you. It's your decision, and only your decision, on what healthcare agency you use. Call today. All County Home Health Care, Inc. at 954-717-7027. License 200999096.
And now back to How to Stay Healthy, your weekly doctor's interview and prescription to better health. And we're back, and we've never had on the program a clinical cardiothoracic nurse practitioner. We're getting some great info today from Daniel Mock, who's on staff over at Florida Medical Center. But we were talking a little bit before the break. You put in a long time at Palmetto General Hospital, and that's another big heart hospital in South Florida. Tell us a little bit about Palmetto. I've been there a few times, and I was wondering if it's like the same size hospital as Florida Medical Center, or bigger or smaller.
Actually, Palmetto General Hospital is part of also the Tenet, along with the Florida Medical Center as
Tenet
well.
Health, yep.
Yeah, so we are happy to to be in different places so we could help different people in different locations. The main difference I would see is like most of the patients that go to Palmetto General, again with heart conditions, they usually are Spanish speakers on the community. I had, most of it, there's more variety when I compare them both. Like Florida Medical Center, it's amazingly, we have treated patients from Korea, from China, from Italy, coming from South America as well.
Large Haitian population,
Creole,
Jamaican.
French, Jamaican people.
Wow.
It's just amazing.
America,
the
it's a melting pot.
Yes, it's Palmetto is usually a great place also. And I like to say that this Palmetto General Hospital, most of the population are Spanish speaker. So you definitely have to be, you have to be bilingual if you decided to go there. But they're great people as well. It's a little bit bigger hospital than Florida Medical Center, but they have they share both the same root, which is patient-centered care, and we like to see our patients from beginning to end, in the best possible outcome.
You work with a little bit with Dr. Miguel Diaz, Dr. Mike Diaz down at Palmetto?
Yes.
He's been on the program.
Yes.
He's great.
Yes, Dr. Mike, as we used to call him,
Dr.
is
Mike.
really great. He works mainly as a cardiac doctor at the Palmetto. He does have his office like right across. He's a great, very knowledgeable guy. He does like cardiac cath right there, where, by the way, they have excellent care as well for the patient.
Definitely. Boy, you're the guy to know. You know all the heart surgeons. I mean, you work with them. You're the guy to know if if you ever have questions with the heart, I'm going to use you in the future.
Anytime.
Yeah,
I'm
definitely.
happy. I wish we could have an open session so we could answer some questions of the people. Because most of the people they listen, sometimes they have questions about how to proceed, and it's important for people to know that we are very approachable. We are we're there for them. In other words, this is on behalf if you have any family member, any person that is involved in your life and they have cardiac conditions, our door is always open. And then you would be feeling like a family. This is not like a cold place that, we treat the person. We don't treat only the illness.
I've heard that in general about nurse practitioners, and the few that I've had on the program, they've been very open with their time and very easy to get hold of. Because I know the doctors are very busy. They do their surgery, and then they really need a team like you to help out.
This is like, we spoke at the beginning, it's about a team approach. It's about a team approach. It's a tremendous help for the surgeon that we work with them, because he does have a lot of surgeries. Dr. Eric Bayer performed many surgeries, such as Dr. Galindez as well. I would like to say that we do many procedures from, he has even a website on YouTube where he actually have some films showing the, what surgeries he does, including the minimal invasive aortic valve replacement, minimal invasive repair and replacement, tricuspid valve repair, also with minimal invasive approach, coronary artery bypass grafting, embolectomies, TAVRs, EVARs, which are, thoracic aneurysm repairs. You name it, we do it. And then the thing is that you are with a team of professionals that will care for you. It's only me here, but I would like to say also that there's many people that work with me as well. There are two excellents also, nurse practitioners. One of them is a PA that works with me at the Florida Medical Center. Her name is Miriam, and then the other physician assistant is Amber. We make a great team, in the sense that we care and we are there for the patient. And that is a message that is important to be understood by whoever is listening.
And I'm going to give out the info for Dr. Eric Byer's office and Dr. Neil Galindez's office. And that's the office you're in.
Yes.
So the number is 954-714-0686. If you have any questions a little bit about the areas of interest these physicians cover, you can go to tfpsdocs.com. That's tfpsdocs.com. And it's about Florida Medical Center office, about 30 minutes right here from our Boca studio, South Boca, without traffic, about 30 minutes. It's located at 3001 Northwest 49th Avenue, Suite 104 in Fort Lauderdale. Are there any physical or emotional challenges of being a very busy nurse practitioner, and you seem to be very involved? So do you have to be strong physically and mentally?
I would like to say that physically and mentally, more mentally than physically.
Okay.
Usually the physical is more like, I would say that they have a very great value. I should say the nurses, like bedside nurses, because they do have to deal with some patients that, require some movement, and then the constraint of physical is more. Ours is more emotional, but it's very good emotional-wise as well, because you see a patient that comes to you and they come because they've been having shortness of breath for so long. And then you see this patient coming to the office and then he got better, after the surgery. And this is like countless life that you could pass by, and you did a little touch to those patients' life for them to last maybe 20, 30, 40 years more. And then, you feel that satisfaction, what makes you go to work every day. And then, like we said earlier, the family approach is very important. I'm a very family-oriented person. I love my mother, I love my sister, and we all in certain way related into the healthcare field. And that is exactly what makes me go through it as well. And that's important because I want my patients to be treated as my family. And that's the same concept that applies with Dr. Eric Bayer and Dr. Neil Galindez, which is why I'm so proud to, work collaborating with them.
Did you know from a very young age that you wanted to go into medicine?
Yes.
Oh, you
yes.
did? This is
yes,
something
my father is a doctor back in Portugal. Yes.
Oh, okay. And how do you say it? That's an area in Cuba?
No. Portugal is... yes.
Portugal.
Yes, Portugal. Yes,
okay.
sorry. And it's next to Spain.
Okay.
In Europe, yes.
Yeah. I've never been there. I've actually been to Italy, but not... Spain is on my list.
Yes.
But Portugal as well. Now, where at a very young age, at what age did you decide that I want to do a career in medicine? I want to help people with their quality. You said a lot about quality of life.
Yes.
You're helping people return back to their quality of life.
Yes. Since I was very little, actually, I remember even when I was close to 6, 7 years old, we were playing around. And then whenever people whenever you're kids, you get a scratch here and there. I remember me helping my friends with the wounds that they were getting there. And I said, this is what, this is something that because I used to see also, my family, my dad, my mom, how they care for, not only the neighbors, but my dad, for example, in the hospital. So I wanted to do that. I want to be a part of someone's change in life. I want to be that person to maybe guide you if you're lost, maybe help you if you are in pain, maybe, you know, guide you to the right process if you need a surgery or not. So that's why.
You seem like you have a wealth of information to help people. That's great.
Yes, that's why I want them. You know, don't be afraid. This is a system that is designed for you to have a great life quality, and that is what this is about, to live, you know, the life, you know, to the greatest extent.
What kind of doctor is your father in Portugal?
He is an internal medicine doctor.
Okay, very important.
And he also works with acupuncture.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's a professor of acupuncture, you know, healing with pain.
I'm
with
a
the
big
nerves.
believer in acupuncture. We've talked a lot on this program. We've had an acupuncturist right in that chair right there. I'm a big believer. I had a knee ailment years ago, and I feel like it was cured by acupuncture. So I'm a really big believer in that as well. What are your hobbies and passions outside of medicine? You mentioned your mom. I know she's watching, so thank you very much. If you'd like to say anything to her, anyone, please go ahead.
Yes, I mean, I love my family. My mom knows that, and then I'm very proud of them. And the way I am today is because of them.
Okay.
You know, and that means a lot to me.
Do you have any hobbies? Like a lot of people don't know, I play guitar on the side. I have 7 guitars. What's something about you?
I love martial arts.
Oh, really?
I do.
Wow.
And yes, that's one of the things I like to do a lot. And I also like mountain biking.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
That's me too. I don't do enough of it, but I do like it. Now, martial arts, that's something, you're in very good shape. Is that something that keeps your heart healthy?
Yes, definitely. As per American Heart Association, walking is the best exercise. Walking. Now, if you develop some martial arts, you could develop, depending on your age, anything that you want to do, from Tai Chi to, you know, different styles.
That's great to hear. Wow, I always love that question because you never know what you're going to hear from our guests. Well, I just want to thank you, Daniel Mock, clinical cardiothoracic nurse practitioner. Thank you so much for coming on the program. And if anyone has any questions, his number is 954-714-0686, or check out Dr. Beyer and Dr. Glendez at tfpsdocs.com. Thank you, everyone. Good night. For a prescription to better health from the top doctors in the medical fields of cardiology, neurology, orthopedics, sports medicine, and primary care, join us each week on the How to Stay Healthy show.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its hosts, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
How to find the right stocks, how money is made in up, sideways, and down markets, how professionals time the market, and how to limit the risk on each and every trade. So if you're sick of job stress, learn how to start working from home at Online Trading Academy. Take a free half